Good morning, good evening, or whenever this finds you. I'm your host, Julia Sanchez Busby, and welcome to The Busby Bit, a show where we discuss fascinating topics that follow us throughout history into the modern times. I feel as though it's pretty safe to assume that you all have heard of Greek mythology in some capacity, whether it's the epic tales of Greek heroes or the fantastical creatures found throughout the lore. Whether you know it or not, aspects of Greek mythology are found throughout modern literature. One of my favorites, and possibly also yours, being the Percy Jackson series by author Rick Riordan. While this popular children's series is an amazing example of the modern influence, we can definitely see the impact throughout literature and media in less obvious examples, such as Shakespeare's many works and, of course, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. In this episode, we'll discuss the original Greek tales and what made them so impactful. Then we'll examine the Greek mythological influence found in Shakespeare's famous tragedies. And lastly, we'll look at the legendary book series, The Hunger Games, and how Suzanne Collins weaves in details and aspects of Greek legends throughout her series. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's start with the obvious question. What is Greek mythology? Well, according to the article titled Greek Mythology, found on the official history website, they define it as, quote, a vast group of legends about gods and goddesses, heroes and monsters, warriors and fools, that were an important part of everyday life in the ancient world. These legends give us great insight to what the life of the average ancient Greek citizen could have looked like, as these were not just legends for them, but strongly rooted beliefs. These beliefs mainly surrounded the idea that the gods and goddesses of Mount Olympus ruled over all aspects of mortal lives, or better known as humans. But what made these stories so powerful and impactful? While each tale is intriguing and memorable in their own way, it is undeniable that the universally relatable themes explored throughout all the legends is what creates the true influence. According to the website Greek Myths and Mythology, some of these relatable themes include love and loss, sacrifice and rebellion, jealousy and deception, betrayal and revenge, and lastly, temptation and greed. Now that we have a good understanding of Greek myths and how their timeless themes can be easily translated into modern literature, we can now explore and understand where Shakespeare drew his inspiration from. According to author Matthew Norman of the article, How was Shakespeare Influenced by Ancient Greece?, there's not much evidence of English translation of the Greek legends in Shakespeare time. Which, of course, leaves us all to wonder, how was Shakespeare influenced by these works if he did not have access to them? Many suggestions have been made to explain how he could have come across these stories. According to author Norman, quote, it has been suggested that the great playwright learned about Greek drama through a translation of Plutarch's lives of noble Grecians and Romans. Others posit he learned about concepts for Greek tragedy and culture from Ovid's Metamorphoses, end quote. Although the debate where he learned of these legends is ongoing, it is of course undeniable that there was a definite impact upon his work. Examples of the influence being the naming of characters after specific Greek mythological figures, such as Theseus and Hippolyta, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that, from his play A Midsummer Night's Dream. Beyond the characters, we can see the universally relatable themes of the Greek myths peeking through. Examples in his work include themes of betrayal and revenge found in Hamlet, and themes of love and loss found in one of his most popular works, Romeo and Juliet. Like Shakespeare, the modern author Suzanne Collins has taken a lot of inspiration from Greek myths, which can be significantly seen throughout her celebrated series, The Hunger Games. According to Suzanne Collins, in her interview with the New York Times, when writing The Hunger Games, quote, the connection to the myth of Theseus happened immediately, end quote. The myth of Theseus follows a young prince of Athens partaking in a lottery that demands 7 boys and 7 girls to be sent to Crete. Once there, they are thrown into the labyrinth, where they will be taken out by the Minotaur. Susan discusses in the interview how in some versions of the myth, this inhuman punishment was developed from the Athenians taking on Crete in war. This Greek myth directly mirrors the idea in the book series that the Hunger Games were made to punish the districts for revolting against the capital. Additionally, Susan represents the labyrinth in the series as the arena the 12 boy and 12 girl tributes will fight to the death in. Beyond the basic concepts and ideas throughout the series, it's obvious Susan drew inspiration from Greek figures to help develop her characters. There are many characters throughout the series who possess Greek names, like brothers Castor and Pollux, two side characters who aid Katniss in the final book of the series, Mockingjay. Like the fates of the Greek figures, in Mockingjay, Castor is tragically killed by Mutts while his brother is left to survive without him. Even though these were small characters, it just goes to show Susan's attention to minute detail that may feel insignificant, but when you look a little bit closer, adds a lot more weight to the story. Now, going back to the universally relatable themes we discussed earlier, we can definitely see an abundance of them throughout Susan's story. Throughout this 3-part series, we see different characters struggling with themes like love and loss, sacrifice and rebellion, and temptation and greed. Examples of these themes are found throughout Katniss's relationship with her beloved little sister Primrose. Sacrifice and rebellion is shown early in the series when Katniss volunteers as tribute in place of Prim, resulting in the 3-finger solidarity salute given to her by the district after her sacrifice. Love and loss is explored further later on in the final book, Mockingjay, when Prim is tragically killed at the end of the revolution. This loss is gut-wrenching, as we understand Katniss's main motivation was her love for Prim. Katniss fights for this love all throughout the series for it to be the ultimate loss for her in the end. This loss feels very reminiscent of the tragedies told throughout Greek myths. Susan does a beautiful job of incorporating many different aspects of Greek mythology throughout her work, which goes to show the long-standing impact of these myths on today's modern media. Throughout the time we spent together today, we discussed how the impact of Greek mythology stretches far beyond the ancient world, from the tragedies written by Shakespeare to the beautifully written series of The Hunger Games. So next time you find yourself enjoying your favorite TV show, book, or movie, look a little closer. You might just find the echoes of Mount Olympus in the pages or on the screen. Thank you all so much for joining me on today's episode of The Busby Bit. I'm your host, Julia Sanchez Busby, and I can't wait to join you next time, where we will continue to uncover the fascinating threads that connect our past to our present. Thank you. All credits for music and research can be found in the show notes.